Good morning or evening, family. I'm your friendly announcer, and I got some serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could turn your joy and laughter to tears and pain. You know, love. Okay, I'm done. Listen, I am so done. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome to the Mental House. I am your host, Khadijah. So, this is my first installment after the election. Listen, look, I voted, as you can see. Um, and you know, in terms of the presidential election, like I told you, I just write myself in or do the um, Jill Stein. I mean, I couldn't. There was no way in the world I could pull the trigger. Okay, so for those clowns. So anyway, there was a couple candidacies in my town. I just wrote in, um, especially for the district attorney, and I cannot believe because I am so adamant about you understanding that the local politics do affect your immediate, no matter how trivial you may seem. Maybe they may in the future redistrict you or do something else, but there is a direct impact on voting in your local election. I've seen it happen. I've been a part of it. On both ends. I've seen so much effectiveness happen that the city redirects a district because they get tired of black people being empowered by voting. So it does work. Your local elections do matter. Um, but I wanted to just a lot of this morning when I went to the poll and it was very early. I think it was like 10 after 7. By the time I went there. As soon as I wanted to be there, I wanted to be like the first 10 people. Of course, I didn't make it, but I was there at 7:10. So by the time I got to the booth, it was like 7:15. It was a nice line, and I was the 50th voter at that time in the morning. So that was great. So far, it looks like it's going to be a great turnout in my district. Um, so that was the first thing. As I was there, as I might have told you guys before, I used to work the polls all the time. I've been an election inspector. I've been a poll worker. So I've been and also an election observer. So I've had all these roles in the political process. I've also worked alongside my alderman at that time, who was the only father and son alderman team in the United States, which was the McGee's. And y'all might remember Mike McGee Sr. from Jerry Springer and all that. Well, I worked with the junior. And because he was so vibrant. And I loved his energy, and I still do. And that's what happens whenever you find somebody that is really able to motivate the people in a sense where they're being empowered. They're going to find a way to make that person a political prisoner or a redistrict, shut it down. That's just my opinion. So, and it could be jaded. Okay, so anyway, there was two incidents that came to mind as I was sitting there, and I heard two gentlemen kind of getting a little scrappy with one another. And that's why I said I want to first send out this message. Anybody that's going to the poll today, don't let nobody knock you off your square. Don't let anybody redirect you, get you full of negative energy. Go there, do what you're supposed to do, and then leave. Because there's two experiences that I've had. One working as election inspector and one as a poll, I think, observer, where There was a fight that broke out. There was a fight because there was one guy I knew, and I just called him Twin. I didn't know which one Twin it was. So, and remind me, because that's what came to play later on when the police came. I didn't know what Twin it was. And there was a white guy and a black guy. And I believe this was Obama's first election. And I think the people went so, the guy, what was it? Yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter. No, Obama was already president. So I believe it was Scott Walker and Tom Barrett running for governor. And everybody knows Scott Walker, who ran for president this year. He's really a racist. He's just, he has a lot of racist tendencies. And anyway, make a long story short, these two guys were in there staring at each other. And you know just how two dogs do before you know it's getting ready to be a fight. You can just feel the energy kind of building. So because I knew one, and I just said, and I'm supposed to be just observing. I believe that's the time I was the observer. But I had to say something because I felt something brewing, and that was too close to the area, and it was a small confined space, and the line was going all out the hallway. I can't believe they would allow people to vote in this kind of circumstance. But anyway, that was just to discourage you. But to make a long story short, I'm watching this guy, and I'm watching the tensions escalate between the two of them. So I started saying, Twin, what's wrong? Twin, what's going on? Because he hauled up something like, if you say it again, I'll punch you in your eye. And I was like, what the? So when I said that, he goes, he knows what he said, and you better get him because I'm about to hurt him. And then the white guy said something about, you don't know, and before I could say anything, he leaped across, and now you got this fighting going on in this small area. The black guy and the white guy. Somebody called the police, of course. Now, because I said Twin, the white guy automatically said that I knew him, and I knew him well. Well, I'd seen him in my district before, and I'd seen him maybe working at the campaign headquarters, but I really didn't know him. I just knew he had a twin brother. And what added to the foe is they're identical twins, so I can't tell them apart. That's why I call them Twin. So the police asked me the guy's name, and of course I didn't know. I said I call him Twin. Asked me who started it, because the white guy got real puffy when the police came, and I said, don't do this, because I really protected you from this shit getting any further. And now you're going to talk crazy because the police are here. And he started saying stuff like, I was going to vote for Tom Barrett. Now I'm going to vote for Scott Walker. Just really crazy stuff. I was like, you need to vote your best interest. Please don't start acting like if you vote for one, that's going to help black people. And if you vote for one, it's not. I said, because neither one of them is going to help us. Don't do that. We just really here for symbolical reasons, if you want to know, if you ask me. Because I don't think that we're very intelligent voters at all. And myself included. And I try to get as educated as I can, but most of us are not very educated. Most of us vote whatever we think. Or who you voting for? Because if not, that freaking Sheriff Clark would not be in office, and I have to give an account for his. Well, I'm not going to say him, because you would have to be a magician to have known, or be able to predict the future to have known what Sheriff Clark was going to do. But most voters are not very educated, okay, in the politics of what's going on. They vote personalities. So that's why. And then civics has been taken out of the school. They dummy the people down. They don't know civics. They don't know how this stuff runs. So, okay, that's just another subject. Well, the second time I voted, I worked, and I was a poll worker, and I had already been to jail from the time they accused me of election fraud. when Alberto Gonzalez and then went across the whole country in this Republican scheme to arrest people for voter fraud. I got caught up in that. And it wasn't just a black or white thing. It was people. It was just madness, okay? There was a white woman that lost her job out over in California, and she really got the book thrown at her. I think they tried to give her 10 years. But anyway, to make a long story short, they tried to give me 5. But, make a long story short, I went and worked the poll as an election worker. And this time, the alderperson in my district was accused of running over somebody in the parking lot. The alderperson kept sending people back in to ask for the counts, And we kept complying. We would give her the counts, as long as she kept asking. And then it just got to the point where it just got to be crazy. Like they were coming in. And remember, we started working those polls pretty early, like 5, 6 in the morning, getting everything set up, whatever. The polls open at 7. And what happened was she was the only person going crazy like that. And we had all the numbers. But she kept sending a representative in to harass us. Anyway, our answers to the person wasn't good enough. Then the alderperson had to come in. She began to get real belligerent with the election inspector. I was like, what the hell is getting ready to go on? Next thing you know, our election inspector is laying out in the parking lot, and the news camera is on there. The stations were on their way down there because she done ran the man over in the parking lot. What the hell? And because this is like a political family, another one of her relatives tried to come down there, I guess, and intervene, which was wrong because they're not even supposed to be on the premises. And then when they were met by the camera person, they hurried up and did about face and said, oh, no, I wasn't coming there. No, I didn't come in. But they were in the parking lot. All right, just so much foolery. I decided right then and there, I cannot do this. For my mental health's sake, I cannot do this. So I just want to encourage you guys. I can't remember whatever happened out of the lawsuit because the election inspector, the chief inspector sued the alderperson for causing him to fall down in the parking lot and hitting him, whatever. It was just fuckery. So I'm just saying that to encourage y'all not to let nobody knock you off your square. You might find some idiots out there, especially if you live in mixed neighborhoods, and some people start talking to Trump and the Hillary stuff right there in the buildings. If you have a big turnout, you might hear a lot of that stuff, especially if it's a lot of believe it or not, white males in there. They like to do that kind of stuff, talk loud about craziness and exert their so-called supremacy. Okay, but in my opinion, it's their low self-esteem and inferiority complex that allows them to do that. The only thing that gives them power is to think that, well, I'm better than you because I'm white. So y'all better remember that if you feel like any of that stuff is going on at the polls, and I'm not saying that all people are going to act like that, but y'all know who y'all are. Y'all shit starters, whether you black or white. But I'm just talking mainly about those white ones there. They like to talk about Trump, or Hillary, whatever that kind of conversation is going on at the polls. When the lines are crowded, a lot of times that happens. Don't get caught up in that kind of craziness. That's all I'm saying. Okay? All right. Vote for your local elections. Vote for the referendums that are on the board, and the things that are important to you. Okay? Because I don't really know if you vote in your best interest either way. If you voting for Lucifer or Satan or Balaazar and Satan, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. The devil. But choice is yours. Okay? All right, you guys. I just wanted y'all to see that I did vote, and hope that you'll do the same. I will be back later, and maybe by the time I come back, we'll have a winner. Who knows? All right. Go out and make it a wonderful day. Bye bye.